What is good, YouTube? Shaun checking back in with another video. The 2024 Romania Pro is officially in the history books, and Rafael Brandão is our winner, and he also gets the early qualification for the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Huge congratulations goes out to Rafa. In second place, a very good version of Akeem Williams, possibly the best Akeem we've seen all year. In third place, we had Emir Omaragic. Fourth place was Horse MD, who also brought a pretty good package. And in fifth place, we had Christian Walski. Congratulations goes out to all of these guys, but of course, the biggest goes to Rafael Brandão. He is headed back to the Mr. Olympia. And I actually waited to report on this because I did not watch the prejudging. I believe it was around 4 a.m. my time, so I wanted to take a little bit of time to review everything before reporting on it. But courtesy of Mariah Up Photos on Instagram, we are going to take a look at the top 4 comparison from this year's Romania Pro. Let's see what we got. And we're going to start with Horse MD and Emir Omaragic because the bulk of this is going to be focused around the top 2, Rafa and Akeem. I believe both guys brought great packages. Emir was more conditioned than Horse MD. I believe that's why he placed a little bit higher. Horse could still work on his posing, his back needs to come up a bit, and in this lineup, his waist did look pretty wide, even while pulling a vacuum. And as far as Emir Omaragic, he could also work on his execution in some of these poses. He has some very weird executions for some odd reason, and overall, Emir being a taller guy, he just needs to add more size. But I think Emir got the nod over Horse MD because of conditioning and detail. Now let's focus on the top 2 guys, Rafa versus Akeem Williams. And I cannot wait to see the scorecards because I'm pretty sure this was a close one. I've seen a few people already say that Akeem was absolutely robbed at this show. I wouldn't go as far as to say Akeem was robbed, but if Akeem won this show, would I be upset right now? Absolutely not. Akeem did bring it, and this was possibly his best look of the year, but when it comes to a guy missing a very significant body part like a back or legs, the judges can really knock a guy down for that. I can understand why Rafael Brandão won this show. He was definitely the best guy in the back double bicep and the rear lat spread. And overall, Rafa's physique just has a little bit more polish than Akeem Williams. Akeem did showcase great conditioning, especially in the lower body, but his upper body still has somewhat of a watery look. Rafa has better shape. Even in this side tricep pose, Akeem is massive. Great detail throughout the side leg, but take a look at Rafa's waist, the presentation. This shot can honestly go either way. You could just give Akeem the nod because he's massive, but Rafa has a more refined physique, and I think that's why he got the nod at this show. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about Akeem versus Rafa? Do you guys think Akeem did deserve the win here? But by winning the 2024 Romania Pro, Rafa does get the early qualification for next year's Olympia. Rafa is a taller guy. He's currently around 260 pounds. Rafa still needs to add more size. He's around the same height as Samson Dauda, and he competes around 300. So not saying Rafa needs to be 300, but definitely needs to add some size. People are wondering, is Akeem going to do the Prague Pro? This is at least his 4th show of the year. I'm pretty sure he's going to shut it down. And before we move on to the next story, I think this most muscular shot really highlights what I was saying about Akeem Williams still looking a little bit watery in the upper body. But he's not really flexing the quads here, so I wouldn't really take that into too much account, but you guys get what I'm saying. Again, huge congratulations goes out to Rafael Brandão for winning the 2024 Romania Pro and getting their early qualification. Now next up, we have a recent update from the Giant Killer Shaun Clarida, who is officially looking like the Giant Killer once again, now that he is working with a real bodybuilding coach, and this is at 6 days out from the Prague Pro. And I was wondering, why is Shaun doing this show? He just came off of 2nd place. Why would he go up against a top 4 Olympian as well as Chris Bumstead? I honestly think that Shaun just wants to redeem himself as far as the look that he brought to the Mr. Olympia. You guys heard me just say the Giant Killer is officially back. The version of him that we saw at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, that was not the Giant Killer. Now what we're seeing here, this looks a lot more like Shaun Clarida. And I'm not expecting Shaun to come in and win Prague, but I definitely think we're going to see a better version of him than what we saw at the Mr. Olympia. Boss of Outlaw told him don't really worry about the weight, just focus on the look and bring a look that can compete with the big guys. Now switching over to Martin Fitzwater, who again is the guy to beat going into this year's Prague Pro. And I'm very high on Martin. Again, he's 4th best in the world. A lot of people think he should be 3rd. And this guy could potentially be Mr. Olympia one day, maybe even 2nd place. That's why I think it's going to be very tough for anyone to beat him, including the Giant Killer and Chris Bumstead. I think Martin is also going to bring a better version than what he brought to the 2024 Mr. Olympia. This guy's top 4 in the world. He has to be over the moon. And he also works with Boss of Outlaw, a pretty good coach. And next up, we have a recent guest posing from Ramon Dino, who is currently top 5 in the world in classic physique. There are some rumors circulating that Ramon may be hopping into the Prague Pro to compete against Chris Bumstead one last time, but personally, I don't think we're going to see Ramon in Prague. And 2024 was not the best year for Ramon Dino. He took 4th at the Mr. Olympia versus 1 year ago. Ramon was top 2 in the world, and he was pretty much poised to take over the division once Chris Bumstead retired, but a lot has changed in 1 year. Going into this year's Arnold Classic, where he took 2nd to Wesley Vissers, Ramon did a very short prep. I think Ramon just got too comfortable. And as far as the Mr. Olympia, I think Ramon is just not used to being outside of that top 2 call out. He was visibly very nervous on stage, and he did have issues with fading and sweating this year as well. But I'm pretty sure after taking that 2nd at the Arnold and also dropping down at this year's Olympia, Ramon is going to work very hard to try to get that classic physique title. Now, the last story we're going to talk about today is of Elliott Dermond, who did just win the NPC Monster Classic overall. And if I'm not mistaken, this was just a qualifier for the NPC Nationals, which Elliott will be competing in about 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy get their pro card and getting on the pro circuit. But that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you did indeed enjoy it. If you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Shaun from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.